behind my back to exaggerate the stretch that I feel. But one of the things I'm trying to stay mindful of is to, like, know too many of the names of the movements outside of 360s and 10 to 2s and things like that. I really should learn though. Like, I know that. Hello all, it's Friday, May 2nd, 2025, approximately 6:40. So today I want to do kettlebell juggling drills and also some steel mace and steel club flow exercises / patterns. Yeah, so I'm just going to come up with movements that can be repeated easily from side to side. So you, like usual, I'm going to do it in the form of supersets, and so it'll be like a steel mace or steel club flow kind of thing, and then a kettlebell juggling pattern, and repeat that for 5 to 6 sets. So I know not everybody kettlebell juggles, but I don't know, some of these, like, what I'm trying to do is more share what I'm doing rather than tell people what to do, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's more like I'm sharing ideas and a way that I work out, and if people find it interesting and want to replicate it, then it's cool, or get some ideas from it and then integrate pieces of it into their styles of training. I'm just kind of expressing my way of training. Anyway, here's the first movement. So, what was I doing? Oh yeah. So drop, switch hand, reverse mill, inside pullover, switch sides and repeat. So it's a small sequence of movements that I can keep repeating from side to side. And with the weight kind of moving around my body, my core has to be activated throughout. The act of pulling over targets the shoulders and back. Specifically, I feel it in my serratus. Serratus are like these finger-like muscles by the rib cage. Usually targeted through like cross bench pullovers or something like that. But you can do it with these two. Going for about 10 on each side, but I've kind of just been going by feel. When I do the pullovers and the mill, I really try to reach behind my back to exaggerate the stretch that I feel. But one of the things I'm trying to stay mindful of is to not like, I don't know if it's hyperextension. It might be hyperextension. I might like just leaning back a little bit too much. I'm supposed to keep my abs crunched so that it doesn't like fold me in half Does that make sense? So what I'm trying to say is, when the weight goes back, it kind of like does that, and I'm trying to like resist it by keeping the abs tight. Then for the kettlebell juggling drill, I'm going to do double mug flips with the hand switch. So it looks like this. Oh, I believe I did 10 on each side, but essentially it's just 10 kettlebell swings with like that explosive motion. So if anyone's trying to replicate it, you can just do hand-to-hand swings, at least for that drill. But yeah, if you guys probably know by now, I do kettlebell juggling, and one of the ways I try to stay sharp is by having some sort of a drill like this where I can repeat a flip or a movement pattern. So later on in the video, I'll do some other movement patterns with the kettlebell juggling. So like one of the things, so the reason I picked this particular drill this time is usually when I do mug flips, I tend to prefer catching it with the same hand. And so I found it like kind of a weakness in my juggling capabilities to catch it with the opposite hand when I do a mug flip. And so I wanted to drill it so that I become sharper at that. There are a few other things that I've noticed when I do juggling that I'm not necessarily good at. And so the drills that I do today will be to kind of sharpen those aspects. But yeah, this is what I'm starting off with. That was like my 4th set. I'm gonna do like 3 or 4 more. Yeah, I'm just kind of going fast with it. I know I'm talking a lot right now, but when I'm off camera, I'm just kind of moving from set to set. And yeah, I don't think today is going to be anything too heavy, but I might do some like heavy club work in the middle, but let's see. So for the next set of movements, I'm doing a steel mace flow. So doing a single arm 360 to front swing to, I don't know, push back, reverse mill, and then switch hands and repeat. See, with the mace stuff, a lot of the movements are self-taught, and so I don't really like know too many of the names of the movements outside of 360s and 10 to 2s and things like that. I really should learn though. Like, I know that this is called a reverse mill. This is a 360. I don't know what this portion is called. I don't know what I'd call that. I'm just gonna call it a tap back or a push back. And sometimes the whole sequence of doing a 360 to this, whatever this movement is, it's called an around the world or something sometimes. I don't know. But anyway, this whole sequence is something that can be repeated from side to side. The act of manipulating the steel mace in this pattern utilizes a lot of core, back, shoulders, wrist. So to direct the steel mace, I'm like kind of doing all these wrist movements. So a lot of forearms is involved, which in turn helps with grip strength and stuff like that. Then my traps are active throughout. My abs have to stay active to kind of direct the momentum. Then also there's shifting of weight going on from leg to leg. So it is like a overall body movement. The primary muscle groups at play are in the upper body, but to do the movement effectively, the whole body has to work as a unit. Even little things like how I bend my neck and the direction that I look in all play into how the movement happens. For example, I can kind of take some of the load off of certain muscles by, like, I don't know, it's not very obvious, but I don't know, try to make visual sense of it. So check these reps out. I'm going to see, I'm not moving my neck as much. But when I do that, the load then transfers a little bit more into the shoulders. But then when I start doing things like looking in the direction, I feel the load then being shared among more muscle groups, if that makes sense. Anyway, I don't know how many reps of that I did, but I'd say it was around 10. Then with the kettlebell, the drill I'm doing, so this is kind of, I'm pretty sure someone's done this before, but it's a flip that I kind of thought of. So usually when you flip the kettlebell, you push the handle, and so I was thinking about like rolling it from the ball portion of the kettlebell. So as a result of which, this is the drill that I came up with. So a double flip, then whatever I'm going to call that flip, I don't know. I'm going to call it a roll forward or a roll, yeah, roll forward. I don't know. So instead of pushing at the handle, I'm rolling it almost like I'm shooting a basketball. And today at the end, I'm going to try and do sequences, like an overall freestyle sequence that has some of the elements that I'm drilling today. But yeah, see, between both of these movements, like the mace I was using was 15 pounds, the kettlebell is 25 pounds, but it's a lot of like small explosive movements, and it really gets the heart rate going. Also, to generate that sort of flip, it takes a little bit of like explosive energy. I would imagine it's almost like punching a bag, because each punch is kind of like an explosive output. You don't really punch slow, so it's like explosive in short bursts, and it kind of mimics that system, I would say. Like small explosions separated, and with tossing the kettlebell around and moving the steel mace around, there's a lot of coordination, a lot of core and stuff like that. I'm going to do this for like 5 sets. Just do it till it feels good, and then on to the next thing. So for the next set of movements, starting off with the kettlebell juggling drill. Starting off with the drill because it's kind of intense. Like it's quite taxing, at least for me it is, and I want to work on a behind the back flip. I'm pretty consistent with catching it, flipping from my right hand into my left hand, but I'm not so good at flipping it from my left hand into my right hand. And so I've structured a drill around that. I'll probably drop it a couple of times because I'm not really good at it yet, but here's what the drill looks like. So starting with whatever they call this grip, and behind the back, double mile or double helicopter, switch sides. I made a mistake there. Let's try that again. I'm going to try it a couple more times and then move into a double steel club thing. Alright, and then with the double clubs, I'm going to do synchronous mills, alternating sides. So doing 4 reps of this on each side. Then going to do asynchronous mills 4 times. So with doing the mills, there's a lot of core involved, and then doing it synchronous versus asynchronous gives its own unique challenges of doing like one thing with one side of the body and another with the other side of the body. But yeah, this is what I'm doing. 4 to 5 sets, then on to something else. So moving away from juggling for a little bit, using my heavy club for a complex. So I have my 45-pound club. I'm going to do shield cast to around the world. Clean squat. Switch sides and repeat. This complex is pretty difficult with the 45-pound club for me. Going for 3 on each side. After that, with my 25-pound kettlebell, I'm going to do alternating halos to lunge. So halo, lunge, halo, lunge. So doing this 5 times on each side. So yeah, doing that for 3 sets. Just wanted to get some heavy club work in. I'm going to do some freestyle juggling to finish off. Try to incorporate some of the stuff that I was working on into a couple of flows. So yeah, that's what's up next. Alright, on to some kettlebell juggling freestyle. I'm going to try and incorporate some of the stuff that I was working on within a flow, and yeah, let's see, or a routine or a flow or whatever, and let's see what I come up with. Pretty good. Pretty good. One of the things that I'm still not used to is throwing a triple with my mug flips. I either overshoot it and get 4 flips or 2.5, and I undershoot it. I felt like that last one was a little sloppy. I'm gonna try and tighten it up a little bit. Ooh. That was pretty nice. I'm gonna end it on that note. I'm gonna go on a walk and a run or something like that. Yeah, that's all for today's video. I might just freestyle for a little while longer before I call it the end of the day. But yeah, that's all for today. See you all in the next one. Sure.